What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this one is a special video because it is really an exhibition race that we are trying out here in Lenoir City, Tennessee. And we are, kind of trying to see if this is going to be a good race idea for later on. So let me go over some stats real quick before I get into everything. So I averaged about 23, 24 miles an hour. It's really hard to tell because there's some things that happen in this race. And we're going on a neutral lap early in this race as well. So can't quite figure out exactly how fast. My Garmin said that 22.6 was my average, but with all this neutral lap stuff and some things that happened in this race, I would say we probably average about 23 or 24 miles an hour. Anyway, 50-50 balance again, 252 watt average, 307 normalized, and a 1428 watt max. And like I said, we are doing a neutralized lap, and I say lap, but really we're doing 5 neutralized laps in this. We kind of decided that early on. Some of the guys, we wanted to kind of go around the course together before actually jumping into like racing, because there were some people that have never raced before, and there were obviously some guys that have raced. Just in front of me is Zane, and he said he was supposed to go to Tulsa Tough with his team, but he didn't end up going to Tulsa Tough, so he's here at the Hometown Hustle Tough. And right in front of him is Connor Hinkle. He's another racer. And leading us out right now is Kent Bostic. So he is the world champ from back in the day in the USA time trial. So rather than bore you for those 5 neutral laps, here we go. We're going into our 5th lap, and we're getting ready to get started. So we've already got an attack at the front, following Connor and Zane. Zane started that attack, and I kind of knew they were getting ready to attack here because I saw them talking to each other a little bit. And you can see how tight these turns are at the moment here. It gets a little bit better later on in the race, but right now those cones are really tight. And you can see we've only got one lane. This is Broadway, so this is a main street in Lenoir City, and we are riding next to traffic right here. So you can see like some of the things that we need to change for this race already. Just not having enough room here. Going into this turn, a little slip right there. I think he clipped a pedal. So you can see, like little things like that going around with speed, with not having enough, not wide enough area to kind of turn in with speed there. I'm not even sure how fast we were going into that. I have to go back and look in just a second and see. But we were going in pretty good speed here, and you can see, we've got a pretty good lead on the rest of the peloton, which is not much because, there were a bunch of newbies, and there were, only a couple other riders, which Kent is, it looks like Kent's back there. He's trying to bridge up to us. And then Dirk is another rider that was in this one that actually has experience racing. So, like I said, this is an exhibition race for us. Just trying it out, seeing what I like. And so far, I like the layout. I like the course itself, but there's things that need to change, like having wider area here, and then also having a wider area going into this next turn here. You can see how condensed this is right here, and those cones. And I even moved them before we started the race. I moved them out just a little bit because I knew we would be taking that turn at speed and trying to get around there pretty quickly. But those were the only concerns I had really for this race. And then there's a couple other little things, but for the most part, those were the big things that probably need to change if we're going to make this an actual race. And you can see, like, we're having to do some weird things around some of these turns here just to be able to stay within the cones and, you know, try to keep ourselves safe. You can see Kent back there. He is still trying to bridge. We're moving pretty well around the course. I think we're moving pretty solidly from the get-go here. Once we said, you know, hey, after the neutral laps, you know, we were on and it was ready to go at that point. So having to scrub down speed to go into some of these turns. You've already got some lapped riders that are kind of in the way at this point too. The other thing about this race too, you know, because it was an exhibition and beginner race and nobody really knew about it beforehand, that all the categories were together. So, you know, I'm a Cat 3. I think Connor might be a Cat 4. I think Zane might be a Cat 3, and Kent's technically, you know, a Masters Cat 1. And then I think Dirk is either a 4 or 5. So I mean, we have a few different categories, and then, you know, most of the other people didn't have race experience, so not really sure what their category was. And then there was one woman in the race, and I think she's raced before, but I'm unsure what category she was actually in as well. But yeah, so you can see I was behind Connor here. And Zane started to take off a little bit more, so I didn't want to pass at this point. But you know, I can't let him get away this early in the race, so I've got to get around Connor at this point if he's going to let that gap open up like that. So you got cars and stuff on the other side of the road there, so it's pretty dangerous around here. Here we go, putting in a move. Getting a lot of wattage here, getting up this that slight little hill there, and gotta make up this gap towards Zane here. So I'm putting in a lot of speed. I'm going over 30 miles an hour or something there, trying to catch up. Then I've got to scrub down a little bit here, going around these turns. Getting wild. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of bike handling going around in these turns right here because how condensed everything is. And then you can see, I mean, people are walking across the road and stuff, like not even paying attention. We're coming down like almost 30 miles an hour down here, and they're like barely just missing them. I remember I had to squeeze brakes a few times doing that. So just remember, this is an exhibition race. So this is, you know, exactly what you would think an exhibition race would look like here. But yeah, finally making a little bit of connection on Zane here, and gonna sit on his wheel for a minute here. So picking up a couple laps later, we're going around with some speed here. I had to go super wide around there because I had too much speed going into that turn. I'm trying to stay on his wheel the best I can there. And like I said, those cones get moved a little bit later on. I think people realize, like, if you want to go around that with a little bit of speed, those cones don't need to be so close right there. It's very tough to maneuver on a bike without having a little room. You got more people walking across. You just, like, it's just so crazy. Yeah, and I had to squeeze on some brakes there, going around. Just, yeah, trying to maneuver on this course the way it's set up at the moment is pretty crazy. Here we go, going into lap 13. Still kind of hanging on to the back wheel of Zane. He's been pushing pretty hard at the front for a while, and we've got Kent coming up strong on the back here with Connor. I think they've been working together a little bit back there to catch back up to us out front. And then, yeah, we're avoiding the other riders. They paid their money, so they get to go around the course and keep going here. So we're having to maneuver around people. See, Kent's pushing pretty hard in the back there to get back on my wheel. I'm trying to push hard to get on Zane's wheel, so I'm having to pump it up here. 600, almost 700 watts, I think. 28 miles an hour going into this turn right here, and I think, yeah, I didn't scrub enough speed. I didn't take a good turn here, and then woo, slip out. I slid right out. Connor slid out right behind me. Chain chain kind of fell off, so I'm trying to fix the chain. I'm over in the grass. I'm okay. I literally hopped right back up. I was fine, but didn't realize that I had a little problem with my bike, and I don't think I realized it throughout the rest of the race here. I think I didn't realize it until like a training ride a couple days later that I actually broke my handlebar sliding out here. So the left side handlebar got a little crack in it, and so having to replace that at the moment. And I was going to replace it anyway, but this just kind of sped up the timetable a little bit here. So gonna get my free lap in here in just a second and then jump back into the race. So I'm ending my free lap. I'm getting ready to jump back in. I'm looking to jump back in with Zane here, and you can see that he basically attacks right there at the line as he sees I'm getting ready to jump back in, and then I'm having to push down a lot of watts trying to catch back up to him. So he got a big jump on me there. Not sure if I can catch him at this point. I'd have to put in a lot more power. At this moment, like you can see they've changed some of the cones as well, so they've widened that out for us. But trying to push the watts down and catch back up to Zane at this point, and I'm kind of feeling unsure about the bike at the moment, like just trying to I was looking down trying to make sure that everything was still okay. I didn't notice any cracks or anything like that at the time. Didn't notice anything wrong. Kind of felt like the chain sounded a little different at first, but I think it was okay once I started going. And then just trying to get back in here with the rest of the guys, and trying to catch back up to Zane. He got a huge jump on me trying to jump back in at that point after the free lap. So and then Connor is still in the pit at the moment trying to get his bike fixed. I think he needed like an Allen wrench or something to get back in. But you can see Kent is coming right back behind me. He was still in there. He was still right behind Zane after Zane put in that attack. So I see him behind me, and I'm like, okay, now we can kind of work together a little bit. I'll push hard for a little bit here, and then I'll let him jump in front of me so that I can get a little bit of a break after trying to catch up to Zane as quick as possible. I'm not sure if you can see him or not at the moment. I thought I saw him there, but he's got a little bit of a lead. It's fairly substantial at this point. So the best thing we can do right now is work together and try to bring that back. And of course, being a little bit more cautious going around this turn here. You can see it was there's the exhibition and all that stuff. So we're trying to work out the kinks and all that stuff, and glad it wasn't anything more serious or anything like that. Sucks that kind of broke my my handlebar there, but I was going to replace it at some point anyway, so whatever. But here we go. I'm gonna take my turn. Trying to pull back Zane here, pushing around here, and this is this is why I said like the speed of the race could have been 23, 24 miles an hour rather than the 22.6 or whatever, because the wreck there, and then having to scrub speed going around a lot of this stuff, and then the neutral laps at the beginning and all that jazz. So, and of course having to go around lapped riders several times in this race as well. So that in combination kind of messes with the overall speed. I think we actually were faster, or it felt faster at a lot of points. But you guys can see like the course itself, once we figure out, you know, the lanes and all that stuff on Broadway there, and get that other side, you know, turn 3 and 4 fixed up, I think this could be a really, you know, fun course. And you know, it's right in the heart of downtown Lenoir City. It's got you know, they had food vendors and everything. We're passing by a really cool coffee shop right there on the left. And then they're supposed to have a brewery that's going to pop up on the corner, kind of near turn 4 and the start line. So that's going to be cool as well. So I mean, there's a lot of things happening in this little small downtown area, but could be something really cool. And then of course, if you're able to widen this to 2 lanes over there, that gives it even more of a chance right here. I mean, that turn right there is not going to be as bad if you're able to get a little bit wider there. And that was the thing. And here you go, like I'm having to go around cones and stuff like that. Just, you know, taking that turn at speed, and then having to kind of like really close down your turn really was tough. So I think after this point I started going around the cone, just like Kent did just before me there. So there's Dirk. He has race experience too, but he didn't quite catch on to our train earlier on in the race. So he's also lapped at this point. But yeah, so we Kent and I work together, just do a lap by do a lap leading out, and then he does a lap leading out, and this is kind of how we tried to catch Zane at this point in the race. So here we go, picking up in the last couple laps that are left here. Not too much of the race. I'm taking my pull here. Dirk has caught onto the back of us, so he's hanging on to us. Haven't seen Zane in a while. So I think he has probably about a half a lap on us. So at this point, kind of tough to catch up to him. He's done a really good job of keeping us away, and yeah, he did a really good job of attacking right when I was trying to jump back in after that free lap, and so I wasn't able to catch back onto his wheel. So that was tough. And then Connor, he jumped back into the race. I think that's him there, but he never really jumped back in to try to compete, I think, after that. So he wasn't really a factor. So really, it's Kent and I going in for second and third at this point in the race. So we just to keep staying on what we've been doing, which is taking turns at the front here. And so now he's going to take his pull going into this is 2 laps to go right here. So almost done there. He's going to take his turn, and then we're going to hear the bell, I think, on the next lap coming up. So here we go. I actually didn't realize that this was the last lap at first. I'm going in here, I hear the bell, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the last lap. So I'm taking my turn, my pull at the front, and I'm like, I mean, normally I wouldn't want to be on the front in a race, right? Don't want to be the guy leading out for the rest of the peloton or anything like that. But really, it's Kent and I competing for the second place right here, and so I'm leading it out, and I'm just trying to make it tough on Kent, because I know I remember I had some energy, and I kind of look back at this point, and I saw his shadow or something trying to come up to pass me a little bit here, so I put some more watts down to try to keep him at bay, and then I'm having to scrub speed again because I don't want to slide out again here. Trying to take my time around this turn here and make sure that I take good lines, going outside of the cones here, making sure there's nobody else there, and then I put on the power because I know I've got it, and I know that I just need to finish out. And there we go, finishing out second place. I never saw Zane after maybe the couple laps after I jumped back in. I don't remember seeing him at least. So I know that he had at least a half a lap on us, and I don't know if that's 30 seconds or something like that. So he really stretched it out on us. I don't think we put enough wattage down to really catch back up to him, and it was very tough. Like, he's riding by himself, and I'm he had a pretty substantial lead, but I don't think we were doing enough wattage to try to catch up to him as far as like our chase. But anyway, so I mean, this was fun, and you guys can see like the potential here. This could be something. Definitely need to get, there goes a sheriff car, police presence on the corners. Need to widen out this road, make it so that at least you have 2 lanes right there so that you can make turns and do things like that. And then, kind of clean up this turn right here and the next turn, and make sure that you block off this road and make sure that people aren't able to turn up and down on this road here. There was a car on the course early on, but because I think it happened like right when I went down, so I didn't really I don't think I got it on film or anything like that. But there was a car that like turned on course at one point, and so yeah. That's another thing, like, a lot of people didn't realize, like, with the cones, what they were for and all that stuff, so they were, it was all over the place. But yeah, that's the exhibition race. It's the hometown hustle in Lenoir City. Can't wait to do this again when we get it all cleaned up and everything, and hopefully this will be a points race in the future. But anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.